5v5, very nice coming through from Samsung. It's just getting to a 5v5 phase where Fiora's not dominating the off lane is the kind of question mark for Samsung.
Yeah, that's the trick though right now, and there's a reason why some of these 12 so far on that pick. Peanut 3-0, undefeated so far in Elise. Here we go, the Cocoon coming in. Smeb just going to start with the aggression right away, and that's just going to be a kill. First blood right there with the flash and the dash out. There's no follow-up. Ambition is coming, though. He's going to tunnel into the tribe rush. Smeb on the run. There's the Braceseeker flash on Burrow. Cocoon, though. Smeb trying to get away from this one. There's the TP right back into lane. Peanut has to flash out. Smeb leaving via the river, and Twisted Fate is there to back him up. Braceseeker not going to be enough.
Crow is able to push in mid lane. This is a luxury he only has before Victor can pick up his Hexcore upgrade. Cheating out of lane. He's already popped the Destiny.
Yeah, there's Wraith too. He gets pumped back by the Alistair headbutt. Kuro there going to flash follow up with a gold card. Going to get hooked, but Prey will clean this one up. Who do they want to give it to? The answer is Kuro. Very deliberate.
More dominant because they don't have to worry about being ganked. It's just layers upon layers of good stuff with Sam Ambition.
Yeah, gets pulverized, now back in the lane. Ambition caught alone in the river. There's the Lantern, not going to be enough to take him out. Kuro nearly dies though. Does hit the gold card onto Crown. Crown now on the retreat. Core JJ flashes over the wall for the kill onto Kuro, but Peanut's still there. He's still in pursuit. Gorilla comes over too. Wraith going to drop the box. Prey still looking for another rocket, but the kill will go to Peanut. 2 for 1.
Solo Dragon. See, the Spiderling's not doing too much tanking. Gone very defensive with his itemization. We've seen some Runic Echo at least, but I certainly, after Runeglaive was removed, prefer the tank Cinder Hulk option, and the magic resist stacking begins. They're against this Lissandra Victor duo.
So far, the Rox Tigers this season coming into tonight had a 70% first dragon rate, in addition to their 90% first blood rate. Samsung gonna try and respond here, but they don't have the pressure to do this. There's a flash gold card. Crown is just going to just get destroyed as Smeb comes down from the top side. Gorilla there comes out of the fog of war with a flash headbutt pulverized combo to lock him down and take away this Rift Herald buff. Get that mid lane turret, very valuable to, or top lane turret rather, very valuable to them. Now Kuro comes back into the mid lane. They're trying to make a play onto a Gorilla. He doesn't have his ultimate, so he's just going to die. Nice job. Good hook there from Wraith. Good follow-up with the Ignite. Is in danger here.
You think?
Peanut and Smeb lurking. They will be found out by the Ghost. Crown now has to use his cleanse on that gold card, but the Tigers aren't interested in fighting. And here we go. Cubate's going to come in with the Claw. Ambition locked up, so there's no more crowd control. There we go. Flash ult onto Peanut. Peanut is going to fall. Kuro getting low right now. Wraith and Core JJ are here from the bottom lane. Kuro pops his Ghost. Smeb still on the run. Ambition with a tunnel under the wall, and Smeb is going to try and fight Crown. Here comes Gorilla. He's back, and now the fight continues. Smeb can't quite get the kill. Core JJ is very low. Smeb is going to fall. Gorilla with his ultimate on. Has to escape, and Prey nowhere to be found, still making his way back up, so they bite off a little bit more than they can chew.
I mean, they were fighting 3v5 Monty Sweet.
All right, so first Dragon has been done. We're stacking up right now. Gorilla once again coming back in. Prey with the package. Crown way too far forward. Lantern will save Ambition, but they were primed to make that play in the enemy jungle. Peanut will eat a hook. Cuvée now coming back in. The dive is not ending yet. There's the repel out. Prey just trying to shoot some missiles in to the side. Smeb did use his teleport. They want more turrets right here. Taking some shots, but they're gonna have to wait for another wave. They've got maybe one left in them. Core is too low to stick around, and now Kuro still at full HP. Going to get the gold card onto Cuvée. Lots of poke. Phosphorus bomb coming through, and Cuvée is going to get nuked by Corki. Cuvée there used his ultimate earlier on, but probably should have saved it for himself. Dragon Pit, they have the Rift Scuttler under their control. And they'll just go ahead and get this one uncontested. Ghosts are over. Peanut not even here.
We can check in also on the Fiora outscale cam. I believe
the flank right here. Culling use onto Prey. He will just sail out of that. And here we go. There's a flash cocoon. And that's just going to be the end of Core JJ. Gorilla there comes in from the flank, and Crown here caught also by the Rox Tigers. Ambition, another cocoon lands. Smeb is suddenly here. Cuvée used his TP, but somehow Smeb actually managed to make it there first.
The massive flash into max range Cocoon. How confident do you have to be of your Elise play to even attempt something as crazy like that? But this is the undefeated Peanut on this Elise. They're going to start the Baron, and Ambition, good luck stealing this one.
Yeah, they're all just body blocking right now. Smeb going to hop over the wall and deal with Ambition, so he can't even attempt to steal. Nice Baron control there by the Rox Tigers. They pick it up easily. Ambition will take a bit of poke damage as he gets in front of the turret and has to turtle. Oh, geez. Well, it's happening, Baba Smithy. And the duel is going through. Actually, the flash comes out from Cuvée to escape that sticky situation, but the TF ult is here, and Ambition doesn't get hit by the wild cards. Peanut trying to follow up. He's just a little bit out of range. Gorilla nearly falls to the turret damage, and this turnaround getting dangerous, but Kuro and Bray still at full HP, and they'll be able to burst down the victor.
Bray's not done.
Oh, wow. Flash onto Core, and there's the inhibitor. Using this Baron buff to its fullest extent. Meanwhile, Cuvée has to back off. That means Smeb gets some free time on the top tier 2. He has his TP up to end this game if they so choose. He's just going to TP right into the middle of the base. Here comes Smeb onto the turret already, and they're just going to go straight for the Nexus. And that's going to be the end of this game very suddenly in under 29 minutes. The Rox Tigers pick it up, and that was very convincing.
Very much so. There was some uncharacteristic kind of poor mechanics. There was a couple of poor decisions made by the Rox Tigers, but the balance of play, the level of aggression, the tempo they play at is something that Samsung just...
Yeah, wow, going very aggressive against this LeBlanc. Those mid laners with the ignites. Gorilla taking it as well. And the Trundle now for the disengage. And you know, after that last game and all the turret dives, all the aggression, can't really fault them for trying to play some more disengage. To move into the Dragon. So Samsung just a step ahead in the lane swap, accruing these very minor advantages. And that's all due to Wraith's delay. Very nicely played early on by this Trundle.
It is fun how you can track back to one contesting of the Raptor camp led to this flow-on effect that now is extra objectives for Samsung compared to what Rox Tigers can pick up.
Really good lane swap, and that's a great example of how you can snowball an advantage into much, much larger things. At Samsung, they took the Dragon first earlier on. Now they find themselves being able to get the Rift Herald. See, looks like Ambition will be the one gifted the buff.
Just keep tracking back, of course. Usually when we see lane swaps leading into Dragons, the answer is the Rift Herald.
Got that wave moving all the way back across the map, but Poppy will get right back in the lead again. But here we go, and there's Core. He's going to jump out with that rocket jump right away. Wraith is coming through, but they're going to get cut off by the GP ultimate, and Prey there is going to pick up the first blood. Peanut walking forward. He's looking for Wraith right now, and he's going to get it. They couldn't actually get in front of that in time. Cuvée comes down only to die as Kuro gets another kill. That GP ult again doing work, and you can see.
You can cancel that teleport if you're Gangplank, and the big story here is actually happening off screen. We mentioned Gangplank to start as Prey just going to die, stayed too long, but Gangplank just stayed top. He kept CS the firing line after every Coup Tigers loss, but suddenly shown a lot more as speaking of skill shots.
Yeah, there we go, and there, oh wow, Crown nearly dies, lives with just a sliver of health, and that was the danger, and Smeb finds him with the GP ult under the turret. Gets the coup de grace in the end, and now they push out Ambition with the culling. Again, the Tigers so coordinated, all four in the mid lane. Actually finish off that kill, and now the Dragon, first of the game for the Rox Tigers, will be taken here at 12 minutes. Very early couple of Dragons in this game due to the lane swap, but Samsung do take a few pot shots at the turret, starting to whittle it down, and they're going to take another Rift Herald, but this is not much to compensate them for all they've lost, and now Smeb.
Onto enemy structures, so new lease on life.
Oh, Crown gonna get caught. GP ult is down again, and that's gonna be a finisher there. Kuro is going to escape. Another kill onto Crown, and
you think of late game start, this is the thing that makes more sense. Prey was allowed to freeze in the bottom lane for so long. Cold Today finally enters lane.
And there's the GP ult again. They're trying to make it over. Kuro will dash into the river. Wraith is waiting there for him, but Core trying to get on the other side of this. There's Gorilla, comes in. Core just going to get a double tap right there. And Cuvée, the next to fall as they are just cut off another GP ultimate. Meanwhile, Smeb is also killing the turret. So Smeb here
Rox Tigers going to pick up their first of the Rift Heralds. Previously been completely controlled by Samsung, and Samsung had a wonder, after playing such a clean 10 minutes, how it all just fell away.
Yeah. To build leads by diving and aggressive early play.
Again, though, when Gorilla gets a champion, it feels like he's already the best at it. Every time we mention, we're like, wow, how does Gorilla get Tom Kench? It's not even a support pick we talk about, but Gorilla makes it work as Gorilla's caught, but again, just walking away.
And there we go. Peanut will secure that dragon. He's a little bit low on the front line. Kube there is going to take the Mimic Death, and now Gorilla comes in for a little bit of zone. Barrels are being laid down. Forces the flash, actually, from Raid. Kuro's not done. Chain will miss. And there you go. Rox Tigers, once again, 2 for 0 and a dragon. Balls are falling directly from the sky, too. Oh, Peanut caught out. He is going to get hit by that explosive charge, and he's going to try and back out, but there's the kill. Speb here now does actually use his teleport. There's some barrels. There's a flash forward from Gorilla and the knock up, and there you go. 1 kill for Prey as Kuro comes over the wall. Ambition, though, finishes it up onto Kuro. Prey now caught in the cocoon. Have they overextended this time? And yeah, nice series of kills there from Samsung. Smeb going to have to play defensively. Can't actually get the barrel off, and so he is going to have to beat a retreat.
For Smeb to flame Horizon a little bit slower.
Well, we have to start somewhere. Ambition there. Double Q. And... oh! He died in the stratosphere.
Yeah, the damage registered. The Ignite was at the last second. And
does the headbutt pull just as a zoning move right there. Can't quite catch anybody, but he does allow them to defend. Okay! By Core. And that'll be an inhibitor for free as Smeb sets up the barrels for some further zoning, and they will saunter. So not going full aggressive. They certainly don't need any more damage in the late game. Crown! Oh no. Well, he gets the kill in return. Actually gets the shutdown gold there, so that'll be nice.
The instant cast ultimate from Cuvée, who did use it just there, but wasn't in range.
Oh, there we go. Core gets turret dove again. A little bit too close, and he pays the price.
The anti-KT rollster in week 1. That's the way I like it. Quick, fast, and explosive.
Hey, KT was very explosive this week.
That's true. I think they took some notes from the Rox Tigers in his model. That's my question.
All right, well, back to the engage. Gorilla going to stop any counter engage. There's the GP ultimate. Core is getting very low already. Has to get out of that one with his flash. Crown now on the run, but Kuro will take the kill, just sliding forward with the damage and not going to pick up any other. Oh, I lied, Papa Smithy. The second proc on the chains will do enough as he gets through the fountain healing, and the Tigers now once again just going to take an easy win. Another sub 29-minute win. As the Nexus explodes, they don't need a Baron. And that's just going to be it. So, very impressive play there from the Tigers.
And they turn it on so quickly. Remember, they hardly lost the macro game in the first 10 minutes. If anything, they gave Samsung a 10-minute head start. And then 18 minutes later...
Nuclear is going to have a lot of time to put down the damage.
Well, there's 4 damage threats and a Trundle to shred people, so taking down 1 is not enough if you're Spennu.
They got to get those big multi-man knockups. Meantime, Jin Air.
Tree, you're able to go for... oh, Assassin might be caught.
Uh-oh, there's the smoke screen going down. Wing's going to hop over the wall, and now Assassin is on the run through the enemy jungle. Wing coming there with the end of the line.
Callista's coming too.
Yeah, Callista making her way up. There's the Q. Ren just for the slow, and Jay gonna force the flash, and Kuzan comes in with the W. Can they get it? Kuzan getting low himself. Flawless. Going to fall in the enemy jungle, and that's 2 early kills for Jin Air as they collapse.
The result is 2 quick kills, and whenever the team that has the top lane scaler gets these little advantages, you worry, just like we did last year. Trace is looking for the kill. Doesn't quite have the damage.
Flash for flash. But does Winged have the damage? He's coming in. There we go. Cocoon, though, onto the knockback, and now Winged is in a whole world of hurt. He's going to be burning down slowly from that Gromp bump, and there's the execute. Over pursuit. Bit cocky there, but we still got some players coming in. Kuzan following the claw. Trace trying to bait him into.
Just keep pushing, playing smartly again, buying time for this gangplank. Already Trinity Force, as we mentioned in the previous series, because we saw a gangplank come out from Smeb, it was Trinity Force, Infinity Edge, Essence Reaver, and Swiftness Boots at 25 minutes.
Yeah, just huge amounts of damage. built quite quickly, and there's the Dragon secure. Take a little bit of the hurt now that Soul has finished up his Iceborne Gauntlet.
Oh boy.
And uh-oh, Flawless gonna face check the brush, and he's going to rappel straight onto Kuzan's head. And that will be an attempt at a kill. Flawless has to flash over the wall. Secret now they're joining up, but there's the finisher, Kuzan with the ultimate. Wild Growth was used very early.
I think Cinderhawk should be the norm in the majority of the time.
Nuclear here comes the dive. They're gonna toss out this Trundle and they're gonna knock him back. Kuzan comes through. Jay now on the run. Sasson wants to pick up this kill and they have gone too far. Spennu reacts with a TP and 4 summoners out of their bottom lane to take the kill.
Also the eldest member of the team, so he probably has the biggest say on what happens.
All right, TP coming in from behind right now. That's going to be a Lysandra flank, and here comes Kuzan zipping in, and there's the GP ultimate already going down. They're going to lock people up with a Lysandra ult. Kuzan falls low, is whimsied though, and they just don't have the next damage yet. Che is going to be next in. They're going to flash forward with Winged to pick up a kill, and Soul on the run, but it was a good engage from Jin Air, but there just wasn't the follow-up damage immediately. They can just use this culling to try and soften up their targets, and Nuclear will get the turret, so at least they've got that going for it. Pilot is out of position and low, and he's just gonna die. Flawless with the damage. Now Winged in trouble on the side, knocked up, and he's still alive actually, has the spell shield there from the Maw, and he's going to live. Kuzan now try and turn this around. Soul underneath the turret taking a shot, a 2-shot, and Secret not gonna have the HP to survive. Meanwhile, Trace easily cleans up Soul.
Their AD carry for free, basically. Couldn't use Fade's Call, couldn't use anything, so had Flash available. They're trying Baron. Right now, they have a lot of damage, and Sasson is very out of position.
Wow, and that QSS ball combination really saved Winged in that last teapot. I thought he was dead to rights, but he managed to slip out and continuously deal damage after finding himself a couple members of Spennu in a choke point that he could make quick work of.
It's not the full tank build this time, but it's close to it. Pickaxe the only outlier in this situation. Looks like Spennu are going to pick up their first Dragon, which of course means a lot to pick up those 6% stats, but as an answer to Baron, it's not massive.
Oh, Trace not going to get the Dragon, but he is going to get on top of Flawless, and he is just going to shoot him right in the thorax.
How could you see that so well from this angle?
Yeah, but here it goes. It's already down at 50% HP. Finally, Spennu going to wrap around the corner. They get the ward down. Are they going to turn? Answer is yes. They don't want to finish this
Sandra's coming.
quite yet. And there we go. Kuzan zooming around from the flank. He's going to not get over the wall. Nice cocoon onto him. And Kuzan is now isolated by himself, and he's just going to die. He doesn't manage to hit his ultimate at all, as the chain CC is too much. The barrels dissuading Spennu from actually moving in on the rest of Jin Air.
Cocoon, as you mentioned, interrupted the glacial path and was the death sentence on his life, so can't disagree with you there. Cannot take auto attack trades from Nuclear.
Nice job from Nuclear, just pops in over the pillar, but here's the ultimate actually coming in. Kuzan is on the flank right now. Flawless is off by himself, does use that repel. They're trying to follow this up, but there's a missed barrel. They're on to Nuclear in the back line. Che is there, and they are going to kill him. Trace finally gets a kill. They already killed Chase. Soul now comes out of that GA, but Winged is there with a lot of damage, and that's going to be the finisher and probably the end of this game. Secret has to flash, but they don't have any more wave clear, and they have a naked inhibitor and extremely long timers. 2 TPs still up for Jin Air, but they have no target to TP to.
I missed, but off the screen, Sasson died with everything available. Kuzan definitely put Jin Air on the retreat when he did the same thing, and now Sasson picked.
He found the one player that didn't have QSS, and it looks like they had enough burst to make it through, so Jin Air sort of flukes into a win here after not executing very well into the late game.
18 seconds for Sasson.
Let's see how hard they want to push this. They should be going for the win.
Jay takes no damage from turrets.
No, he does not. So there you go, 1 turret down. Kuzan now back in the mix. Secret is going to be dying, has a GA, interestingly enough, so he will revive, but it's not going to be in time. The Nexus goes down, 51 minutes, Jin Air 1-0.
And that was certainly almost a prototypical Robin Hood role play from Jin Air. They looked like they were going to throw it all away. They started up so smartly, 30 minutes of good league, but you can see
as we head into game number 2 with extreme protection for Winged and Pilot.
It does neutralize to some degree Lissandra as well, because you're going to get plenty of AP on this top lane Morgana, so going to be hard to pop that black shield and thus get the initiation with a flank from Sassen.
Same thing with the Nidalee. Tormented soil right underneath your feet.
There's going to be a Rhyme there. Stand around, wait to get back.
Nope.
Speaking of nope.
Wow, there's the wild growth of the flash, but are they going to be able to finish this up? And Wing going to flash forward, and is he going to get the kill? Sassen falls, actually. Kuzan with the ignite going to pick up the kill, and that was
so far has definitely impacted this game. Forced that early recall and teleport from Sassen, and then got that kill.
Uh-oh, Che here tries to pull him out, but there's the flash right back in, and they're going to find him. Che, no flash in that bottom lane. When you have the 2 summoners still in the AD carry and Che with the ultimate, you're not going to make that gank work. Uh-oh, and there's a gank that will be working. Winged on the backside.
Yep, Frostwind's claim heavily delayed.
Oh, really early first tower. Here we go. They're going to try and do it now, but Pilot's just going to flash out. Nice play by Che. There we go, knocking him up with a Fate's Call. Pilot will be the target and ulted underneath the turret, but they can't get anything more than that, and that was a big commitment to make for not a lot of gain.
Those gold Spells Thieves procs available, so he actually does push down turrets faster than Morgana's in the past in a couple of ways, because the AP ratio for auto attacks to being translated to turret damage went up as well, so he's even better at pushing turrets. That's a scary thought.
It is, and he's still able just to land these bindings. I mean, the Frost Queen's claim is such a boon to champions like Morgana because you set up your binding so well. Pop the ghost, get the slow.
Designed the last time we saw top Morgana. We, of course, forget the late game where, Trace in trouble.
Oh, nope, just going to use his ultimate right now. Lissandra is here, but so is Che. Trace is going to fall. He's got nothing left to use right there, and there's the ultimate from Sassen, but Kuzan comes up and to take a kill right at the end, zipping up into the top side. Now he's going to chase down Sassen right here. He is going to be rooted, and Flawless tries to make this work, but they get the kill, and there is Winged entering the fray. Kuzan is barely going to survive. Nope. Red buff burn is enough in the end to take him out, and that red buff bounces around and ends up onto Che, who actually did pick up 2 of the kills in that engagement. And Pilot here may have overcommitted.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
That was not a good look. Remember, Sol didn't actually have any armor.
1-0-3, so.
Now I am the AD carry.
That's right, now he's the AD carry. Behind in farm, Spennu now targeting this Rift Herald. But yeah, Pilot 2 overextending, not making the most of the
Sol's been forced to go Banshee Veil just because of the harass in lane. It's actually a big loss to not have a Sheen, let alone an Iceborne Gauntlet this early, so team fight wise, the damage is certainly going to be lower.
Exciting times here with a very slow dragon.
Killing Winged. He got it.
He did. Until the dragon, Pilot getting some time to push out the top side before he joins the rest of his team.
Oh, Flawless might be collapsed on here.
Oh wow, that damage, holy moly. Winged finishes it with the ultimate, and that is going to be a dragon for free now for Jin Air.
When you don't test someone's damage.
A Baron. They're just going to go for the Baron.
Wow.
They've gone a complete about-face, Papa Smithy. Now it's a 25-minute Baron, and they are going to commit.
Well, they're going to start it. We'll see if they commit to it.
Wow, this is a bold call. Lulu is not there currently. There are 4 people. Trace is going to zone them out with this Morgana. Kuzan going to come through with the Whimsy Che now. And they're going to turn right away. Secret on the outside. And there we go. Face Call going to launch people into the pit. Sassen gets very low. Ults himself at the opening of the pit. Winged with the wild growth on is going to jump forward. So is Pilot with the flash, but he's going to get knocked into the wall. And there's a nice cleanse from Pilot on the heroic charge, as Sol attempted to reposition with his flash for that. Sassen looks like he's going to make it out. Meanwhile, Winged finds Secret, gets an auto off on him, and Trace is here with the Dark Binding, perhaps, eventually. Flash actually used by Secret. Not sure that's going to end up being worth it.
He is going for quite the walk.
Yeah, he is. He's not going to get out of this either.
Or is he?
Or is he?
Do-do-do-do.
I actually still don't think that was a good use of Flash, but okay, he will actually recall, but that is Jin Air pushed off the Baron, but the Dragon is still going to be there. Che is very disappointed, Cal.
Che got invited to the party, but showed up far too late.
I don't know if he was invited. It's more like he crashed Secret's recall party and also was late.
But it already moved location.
Few have succeeded.
Well, no one succeeded.
All right, so here we go with the engage once again. They find Pilot immediately, and he actually gets double stunned there, and so they are able to grab a kill, pick him out in the mid lane. So they used the Lissandra ultimate and the heroic charge, so he didn't get much with his QSS right there. Trace now trying to escape with his TP. Oh, very close, but Trace finds himself next to Soul. That's not where you want to TP to, and there's going to be a miss on the Poppy ultimate, but they buy themselves time to take the mid turret. Pilot there, just running the front line, trying to get the poke damage. They know where Sasin is. They have a ward there, and they're going to go on to him. Nice engage, and they try and blow him up, and they're not going to quite kill him. But Trace here with the zone out onto Nuclear, and that's going to be a one fight for Jin Air. Man, they didn't clear out those wards, and they made a really good play to pick up the kill. Here we go, Pilot now just chasing everybody down with that Whimsy and that shield. Flawless can't do anything, double kill for Pilot. Just found himself with about...
They might try and end.
Yeah, they could, about 200 HP, and they're gonna go for it right now. 15 seconds is all the time they need. There's one turret down. Secret and Nuclear have to do something to stop this. Pillar is just not gonna be enough. There's a TP coming in from Soul. Soul here, gonna come in, and there we go. They're gonna get one kill, trade 1 for 1, and that's not gonna be a finish.
Why did Soul teleport 0 units? I don't understand that one, but low members.
Wow, big turnaround. Sasin gets out of the base, and instead of doing this dragon, which would have put them at number 4, now we have an opportunity here for Spennu to do this Baron.
I don't understand why Jin Air tried to take that second turret. There was no opportunity to change onto one of the defenders and get another pick, so the result was always going to be home guard members coming through from the base, and it's going to be a free Baron. I can't see any contest from Jin Air, and Spennu are going to take this Baron. Okay, their base is in shatters, but they still have inhibitor turrets in 2 lanes.
Yeah, they do. The Ghost, they're going to see Flawless is alone right here. Wing there, put some extra damage right on the front, but only one member in the pit. And here comes Trace. He's going to come in with this at some point. Wing just going to pop over the wall, has the QSS. Sasin with the TP in. They're going to get the Dragon. They can't quite seal it away with the collateral damage. Testing the Baron.
Success. They're definitely going to get it. It just explodes, as you'd expect with Lissandra. Look at all the teleport flank wards on the top side, though. Near the blue buff side. As boy.
They're getting fancy, so they actually fooled Jin Air right there, looping back through the jungle. They're going to get the inhibitor, and they may just win the game right now, actually.
Oh, boy.
And Trace is going to absorb a spear, and he's going to Zonia's himself. They're going to try and come through, but Winged is already on the Nexus, and I guess this is how it's going to end, Papa Smithy. Jin Air gives Spennu the runaround and just straight up wins the game. Hilarious.
Amazing stuff. There's the Crown Fiesta, and he's not even in the game.
Yeah, that was great. Wow. Well, Jin Air, you made that interesting.
Remember, I did say there could be a creative backdoor mission. I didn't realize it'd be the entire team completely taking the inside track. No way for Jin Air. Even Nidalee couldn't get back in position with all her movement speed.
No one expects the front door, back door.